Zabraks are near-human sentients from the planet Iridonia, renowned for their independence and wandering spirit. They have distinctive facial horns, whose number and pattern denote which subspecies an individual Zabrak belongs to. Most Zabrak wear ritual facial tattoos, which vary from simple lines to more elaborate patterns. The designs can mark significant events in their lives or merely be a matter of personal preference. After discovering space travel early in their civilization, they quickly colonized worlds throughout the Mid-Rim and gained a reputation as pioneers and explorers. Zabrak are also skilled warriors, engaging in inter-clan competitions to hone their talents. Their physiology, which includes a secondary heart and some resistance to pain, gives them surprising endurance in battle. In Star Wars: The Old Republic, you can play any type of character as a Zabrak, as species are not restricted to certain origin stories or combat styles in the game. Zabraks are automatically available to all players. However, there are two kinds of Zabraks: the neutral-colored Iridonian Zabraks and the red-colored Dathomirian Zabraks. And which ones are available by default changes based on what type of character you are creating. So by default, if you're playing a Republic character, so a Jedi Knight, Consular, Trooper, or Smuggler, you can make a neutral-colored Iridonian Zabrak for free. If you're playing a Empire character, for example a Sith Warrior, an Inquisitor, a Bounty Hunter, or an Agent, you can automatically create a red Zabrak for free. However, you can unlock red options for the Republic side, and you can unlock neutral options for the Imperial side. So if you really want to unlock that red Zabrak Jedi, here's how you go about doing it. So unlock option number 1. All players can unlock all colors of Zabraks for all classes by purchasing the item Legacy Species Unlock Zabrak from the Cartel Market with Cartel Coins or from the GTN with credits. The Cartel Market sells this unlock for 600 Cartel Coins. The price and availability on the GTN will change day to day and per server, but it's likely very expensive. This unlock is per server, not account-wide, and requires that you have an existing character of any type on that server who has reached level 10 and created a legacy. The icon looks like a half-and-half Zabrak to make it clearer it's for both types of Zabraks. This is probably the least recommended option. So number 2. All players can play any type of Zabrak and then level them to level 50, which will automatically unlock all the Zabrak options for all future characters, including the red Zabraks for Jedi and the neutral-colored Zabraks for Sith. This unlock is per server, not account-wide. And the last option, which is the best if you have it available. Subscribers can also unlock all Zabrak colors for all origin stories by spending 1.5 million credits as part of the legacy system after they have reached level 10. Free-to-play and preferred can technically too, but they have their credits capped at 1 million credits. This unlock is per server, not account-wide. So now let's talk about what class you might make your Zabrak as and how it shakes up in the galaxy. So when it comes to the colors of Zabraks, they're pretty much split down the middle. So neutral-colored or human flesh tone Zabraks are on the Republic side, and the red Zabraks are on the Imperial side for the most part, though there is some overlap. Let's start with the Jedi Knight and the Jedi Consular. In the Old Republic era, seeing a Zabrak as a Jedi is not at all uncommon. Satya Shan's Zabrak Jedi Master, seen in the original trailers for the game, was one of the most prominent masters of his time. For the Consulars, they can hail from any planet and Force-sensitive species in the galaxy. Most Consulars are humans, Zabraks, and Twi'leks. Now let's take a look at Troopers. Troopers are the embodiment of the Republic military's highest aspirations, the most advanced fighting force in the galaxy. Zabraks make up a large percentage of the Republic military, and when you join Havoc Squad as a trooper, you'll even be introduced to another Zabrak member of the team within your first few minutes of playing. And lastly, the Smuggler. Above all else, smugglers make their own destinies. Smugglers require fast reflexes, fast wits, and a fast draw with a blaster. Smugglers are beholden to no traditions, and it would not be surprising to see a Zabrak smuggler, especially as Zabraks are often known to be fiercely independent, beholden to no master. Now let's take a look at the Imperial side and the Sith. While it is uncommon to see an alien in the ranks of the Sith, red Zabraks are fairly commonly seen in the Sith Academy, red lightsabers in hand. Although humans and Sith purebloods make up the cultural origins of the Sith culture. Because Zabraks are one of the most common species in the entire galaxy, they likely make up a big portion of the Sith. Finally, we'll look at the two non-force-using Imperial classes. It's never a question if a bounty hunter will find you, only when. Both infamous and anonymous at the same time, bounty hunters are far more than mercenaries for hire. Bounty hunters carve their own paths, and it would not be surprising to see a Zabrak bounty hunter. Zabraks are known to have a great resistance to physical pain and have a strong sense of self-determination, both traits which are very useful for a bounty hunter. Lastly, the agent. While it is uncommon to see an alien in the ranks of Imperial intelligence, the Minister of Intelligence recognizes the need to take advantage of an alien mind. A prominent Sith named Darth Malgus has seized the opportunity to create a new empire, one that embraces alien cultures and is strengthened by diversity. Now we'll talk about the way Zabraks look and their visual markers. Zabraks can be found in many different shades and colors. When choosing a species, you'll first choose between Iridonian or Dathomirian Zabraks. Then within each one, there are multiple shades and variations you can choose from. Apart from the actual color of their skin, they also have different horn styles. Iridonian Zabraks have blunted horns, while Dathomirian Zabraks have sharp, cruel-looking horns. When you're in the Old Republic character creator, many species in the game share hairstyles. However, Zabraks have the unique feature of horns that grow out the top of their head, so they have a set of unique Zabrak-only hairstyles to choose from, or some horn-only hairstyles with no hair at all. When creating a character, the hair and horn styles are matched together. You can't mix and match them. Most Zabrak wear ritual facial tattoos, which vary from simple lines to more elaborate patterns. The designs can mark significant events in their lives or merely be a matter of personal preference. Upon completing the rite of passage, Zabrak adopt a pattern of facial tattoos. These are generally made up of a pattern of thin lines and elegant designs. They are often based on family tradition, but can also incorporate personal designs or representations associated with significant events. Because their skin tones vary wildly between the different subspecies, especially between those dwelling in the Empire or Republic, Zabrak are distinguished more by their vestigial cranial horns and ceremonial tattoos. These facial tattoos are unique to each Zabrak and can represent any number of things in their life or culture. They receive their tattoos upon completion of the rite, a series of personal trials that test their senses in the most inhospitable environments. To the Zabrak, passing these tests is an integral part of their personal self-assuredness. These tattoos can be symbolic of many things, such as a family lineage, or where they came from, or a personal design of their own. The Zabrak Sith Lord, Darth Maul, had black tattoos placed upon his red skin that had special Sith significance. While the character creator in Star Wars The Old Republic only offers so many different tattoo options, you're welcome to create your own design or idea for your personal character, even if you can't create it in-game. As Zabrak fall to the dark side, they have the option to turn on dark side corruption, where their eyes turn yellow, then orange, their veins become dark and more prominent, and they lose pigment in their skin. So if you're playing an Iridonian Zabrak, you'll simply get lighter and paler, and if you're playing a Dathomirian red Zabrak, you'll become more pink. You can choose any name you want for your Zabrak character. You do not need to try and follow any type of conventions, as Zabraks have spread far and wide across the galaxy, with some being given a traditional Zabrak name, while others have been given a name traditional to their home planet, and others take on a codename or nickname. A supplemental Star Wars role-playing guide says that Zabrak would commonly take their names from animals native to Iridonia. However, I've put together a massive list of Zabrak names for you, and how much that rule is actually followed is pretty debatable. If you want to see that huge list of names, visit the written version of this guide. There's a link in the description of this video. I've also got some info about a name generator there as well. When it comes to famous Zabraks, we actually have a good mix of both famous Iridonian and Dathomirian Zabraks across multiple different pieces of Star Wars media. So in the Old Republic, some famous Zabraks include Keo Sen Durak, who is Satele Shan's Jedi Master from the Star Wars The Old Republic trailers. We've got Bayo Dur, he's an engineer and a major companion in the Knights of the Old Republic game. We have Jula Nightbringer, a part of the Bounty Hunter Great Hunt story, and the Eidolon, who is also a target of the Great Hunt in the Bounty Hunter story. In the bigger world of Star Wars media, the most well-known Zabrak by far is the one, the only Darth Maul. But apart from him, we also have his brother, whose name is Savage Opress from one of the TV shows. And in the Star Wars movies, we do have two Iridonian Zabraks who are more in the background. There's Eth Koth and Ajan Kalar, two other Zabraks. Both of these guys are way more fleshed out in the books, comics, as well as even show up in the Clone Wars TV show. While it's easy to recognize the Zabrak people as the aliens with horns, they also have a rich culture and background in Star Wars lore. I'm now going to take a deep dive into Zabrak lore. You don't need to know any of this. The following is for players who enjoy creating a background for their character, role-playing, writing, or daydreaming about their character. Zabrak resemble humans in skin tone and physique, but they are easily distinguished by their vestigial horns. They are renowned for both their inherent confidence and their martial prowess. Zabrak physiology is similar to humans, with several notable differences, including the presence of a second heart and a heightened resistance to physical pain. Zabrak vestigial horns emerge at puberty. They are a sign that an individual is reaching maturation and nearing the age of the traditional rite of passage. Zabrak skin colors range from near ivory through browns to near black in a broad range of tones. Some have hair, but many are completely bald. Eye colors include the common human range, but can also include yellow, red, and orange. Zabrak are a self-assured people, confident that they can attain any goal they set out to achieve. To some, they seem single-minded, being usually focused on one given idea, concept, or task at a time, with the conviction to accomplish their goals successfully. While with others, such confidence might lead to prideful superiority. It isn't within a Zabrak's nature to denigrate other species. All Zabrak demonstrate great pride in their home colony, and while there is some competition among these colonies, intra- or extra-cultural insults or fights are not common occurrences without extreme provocation. On the contrary, most Zabrak are proud of their species' diaspora, believing that their varied colonies and experiences add to their species' overall value to the galaxy as a whole. The motivation to make a contribution to the greater good is a driving force for many Zabrak. Zabrak are renowned for their self-assurance and independent natures. The harsh conditions of their homeworld, Iridonia, led to a particularly competitive and warlike nature in its inhabitants. Thus, study in martial arts is common throughout Zabrak cultures. The bladed quarterstaff, known as the Zaboka, is a culturally significant weapon to Zabrak. Historically, Zabrak would wield Zabokas while riding reeks, their war mounts. The combination of determination and military prowess has made Zabrak culture extremely resistant to Imperial domination. In concert with their militaristic tendencies, Zabrak have established a reputation as exceptional weaponsmiths. They craft both traditional melee weapons and reliable blasters. While none of these armaments are mass-produced, they can still be found throughout the galaxy, sometimes when Zabrak surreptitiously arm other oppressed species. Zabrak are native to Iridonia, a world located in the Mid-Rim. Because this environment is so hostile to life, conditions include brutal weather, acidic seas, and a host of predatory wildlife. Many Zabrak were quick to embrace spacefaring and migrate to other worlds. Consequently, many Zabrak identify themselves with their colony world rather than the homeworld of their species. Zabrak colonies can now be found spread across the galaxy, from established colonies on major metropolitan worlds to enclaves in entirely unexpected locations such as the mountain colonies found on Dathomir. The Dathomirian Zabrak emphasize their culture's warlike tendencies to the exclusion of all else and tend to be even more violent and dangerous than their off-world kin. Due to the extremely harsh environmental conditions, such as hugely powerful storms and lethal seas, many Zabrak have relocated to other worlds. It was once the site of a Sith training academy. Located in the Mid-Rim, deep canyons scar the planet's landscape. Great winds rip through these canyons, sometimes reaching over 200 kilometers per hour. Seas of frothing acid swirl up into acid spouts that soar hundreds of kilometers into the sky. Worse still, these acid seas are home to gigantic predators. Iridonia is frequently among the first planets to be pulled into war. A mid-rim world situated near important hyperspace lanes, Iridonia is one of the gateway planets that connects the outer rim to the inner rim. At the start of the Mandalorian Wars, Iridonia is one of the first planets to be invaded. It suffered heavy losses in the initial wave of attacks because the planet's defenders fought aggressively and recklessly to repel the invaders. Though the Republic eventually liberated Iridonia and the planet subsequently joined the Republic's war against the Mandalorians, many of the planet's soldiers were recruited and indoctrinated by the Mandalorians, joining the enemy's cause before the Republic could free their homeworld. Iridonia is the site of several battles throughout these dangerous years. The First Battle of Iridonia is a turning point in the Great Sith War. Jedi-led Republic forces routed the combined armies of the Krath and the Sith, driving them back and gaining significant momentum. During the Jedi Civil War, the planet changed hands several times as the Sith and the Republic clashed over the planet, which was used as a staging point for both militaries. The Zabrak suffered heavy losses during the Jedi Civil War, though they never stopped fighting the Sith invaders. After the Jedi Civil War, Iridonia's 8 colonies became independent but cooperative worlds, because the central government on Iridonia could not maintain control of the colonies when the home planet was occupied. The Zabraks are a proud, fiercely strong-willed people known across the galaxy for their sense of independence and refusal to accept defeat under any circumstances. Originally hailing from Iridonia, Zabraks were among the first species to discover interstellar travel and spread across the galaxy. When the Empire settled on Dromedae and began to expand, its scouts discovered many small, isolated Zabrak colonies, home to a number of Zabrak subspecies that had evolved cultures and traditions very different to their Republic cousins. Each Zabrak colony considered itself a sovereign system. The native language of Zabrak from Iridonia is Zabraki. However, because of their long association with broader galactic civilization, almost all Zabrak also speak Basic. Even before the Zabrak mastered interstellar travel well enough to establish colonies, their civilization came into contact with the dark side of the Force. The ancient Sith hired numbers of Zabrak mercenaries to use within their armies. The Zabrak High Council profited tremendously from the mercenary contracts, and a degree of savagery that appealed to the Sith became an ingrained part of Zabrak martial culture. Zabrak adventurers love to explore the galaxy. No challenge is too great to deter a Zabrak. Zabrak adventurers range from fringers from distant colony worlds to noble ambassadors and merchants to scouts, soldiers, and even Jedi. Any being with the capacity for cunning and devotion to the dark side may become an Inquisitor after surviving the Sith trials of Korriban. Humans and Sith purebloods were long the most common to ascend to power, but since aliens and slaves were allowed into the Sith Academy, Twi'leks, Zabraks, and Radataki have all risen from nothing to become Sith Inquisitors. Their unique physiology, such as a second heart and high pain tolerance, make Zabraks highly sought-after soldiers, and in the Empire, valuable slaves. Those who show an affinity for the Force are able to be taken for training at an older age than other species due to the mental discipline that is ingrained in all Zabrak. The Republic is a heterogeneous organization made up of species from across the galaxy, and its military reflects that diversity. Humans remain the most common species among fresh recruits and battle-scarred veterans alike. Zabrak soldiers, often transferring from resistance cells on Imperial-controlled colony worlds, are also common. Anyone can claim the title of bounty hunter, but the majority of these icy professionals are human. Their ubiquity allows human bounty hunters to go just about anywhere and blend in. But not blending in has its own advantages. Spooked targets make bad choices that can reveal their locations, something upon which Chiss, Radataki, and Zabrak bounty hunters cheerfully capitalize. I hope you enjoyed this really in-depth look into Zabrak lore. If you happen to have a Zabrak character or are creating one for any other type of Star Wars project, I would love to hear about that character in the comments below. If you want to show your support for these in-depth guides and information about the Old Republic, visit Swtorista.com/support. And if you want to have more Star Wars The Old Republic videos show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. As always, may the Force be with you.